My name is Tova Tachau. I'm majoring in biochemistry, comparative literature, and Russian and East European studies, and I'm from the Philly suburbs. I take classes at the Philadelphia School of Circus Arts in my free time, once a week. I take classes in trapeze, rope, fabric. I've been taking classes there since I was 12. I also love hiking with my dog in Valley Forge, Wissahickon. I love reading outside, cooking in my free time. I'm involved in Hillel. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Reformed Jewish community, where we just host weekly Shabbat services and social events for students interested in Reformed Judaism. And we're the only egalitarian minyan every week, which is exciting. So we really pride ourselves in making a kind of a space that Jewish students can feel at home in at Hillel. So in high school, I worked as a pharmacy technician during COVID, which was really challenging, but it was also so enlightening in that I had all this exposure to medications, and I remember just being absolutely fascinated that these tiny pills that look seemingly inconsequential actually have really profound physiological implications. And I thought at that moment that I wanted to go into drug development and be a researcher and work with antibiotic resistance particularly. My freshman year, I entered Penn in the Vagelos Molecular Life Sciences program, really thinking I just wanted to study biochemistry and biophysics. I wanted to work in drug development. I was not a humanities person. And I took a course to fulfill that double counted for two of the sectors and foundation requirements. It was Masterpieces of 20th Century Russian Literature with Dr. Kevin Platt. I signed up for the course because I thought it sounded interesting. It sounded like a challenging course. Much to my surprise, it became my favorite class that semester by far. I declared the Russian and East European Studies major pretty late. I declared it right before my junior year, and the major requires 4 semesters of Russian language, which I had none of at that time. So I decided to spend the past summer in Kyrgyzstan. And I lived there for 2 months with a host family who spoke 0 English. And what was so fascinating about it, I think, was gaining exposure to the education system in Kyrgyzstan, the way of life in Kyrgyzstan. And also, as a pre-medical student, it was really interesting to learn about the health system and the different intersections, the way it diverges from the American health system, the way physicians and surgeons specifically are trained there. I would love to be able to work as a physician in global spheres. I like to think of medical diagnosis as a type of literary interpretation in some sense, because you're really working with people, their symptoms, their socioeconomic situations, like you would with a text, and that there are so many facets, so many different areas of potential interpretation. You really need to be able to listen and synthesize information, treat people not as statistics, but rather as people first and foremost. But in theorizing why I want to pursue medicine, I think the humanities have only affirmed that decision, in that you can be the smartest scientist in the world, but if you don't know how to speak with people or talk with people or really read and interact with people's stories, you're not going to be a good physician. I think my humanistic training has done so much for me that my scientific background never could have.